The Cats against Florida, number 9 against number 21, Kentucky and Florida coming up on rivalry week. Jay Billis, Steve Lavin here with me. And guys, we'll talk about the end of that Illinois-Indiana game for just a second. Indiana's not the last possession where Bracy Wright heaved the desperation shot. What went wrong on the previous possession when they tried to run the set play?
Well, when they tried to run the set play, they wanted to try to get it against a defense that wasn't set, so they didn't want to call a timeout. But Mike Davis didn't like the alignment that he saw, so called the timeout with about 11 seconds to go. But then Indiana decided to go for a 3. Bracy Wright was certainly the guy you wanted to key on and go toward. But I don't think they necessarily needed the 3. If it was there, you take it. But otherwise, you need to attack the basket there. You only need a 2 to tie.
Yeah, surprise in a 2-point game also that Leach was out of the game in the critical stretch there, because could have got a tip in on a second shot with his post presence, and then also he's a go-to guy down low in the paint. He did miss the little bunny inside, and so maybe Coach Davis just didn't have the confidence and put him on the bench.
And how many times we talk about you got to be mentally strong enough to step to the line and knock your free throws down. Illinois gave Indiana a chance when they probably shouldn't have had one at the end.
Chance after chance. You mentioned all those short shots they missed, too. 9:53 without scoring, Steve.
Great win for the Illini.
Absolutely.
Go on the road, though, they crawl back into the Big Ten championship picture here in terms of the race. Wisconsin's still the leader when you look at the schedule, but Purdue's a little banged up, but Illinois crawled right back in. Good win for Coach Weber.
Well, much of the news of the day certainly centers on Indiana's former coach, Bob Knight, who is indeed on the bench right now for Texas Tech against Baylor. Knight avoiding that talked about 5-day suspension for the confrontation with the university chancellor. Mikey Marshall off the miss with the follow. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders out to a quick start on Baylor. Jarius Jackson, fine young player for Knight, Jay.
He really is a very poised freshman, very quick and good defensively. This Texas Tech team gets a lot of steals. They are good in the open floor. Mikey Marshall has been really strong of late. The left-hander has come on.
You know what? The Fighting Sons of Homer, though, kind of sticking around inside. Tommy Swanson for the jam. Baylor keeping it tight throughout the first half. Here comes Carl Marshall, and one. Baylor is back even at 23. That combination again working for Knight. Off to Emmett, and Andre puts it down. Here's Knight headed to the locker room after the first half that perhaps was a little bit tighter than some would expect, or than just about everybody would. Tied at 34. Any effect here?
Well, given the distractions that the coaching staff and the players have gone through over the last 36 hours, it's not a surprise that they would get into a struggle. Baylor, not a bad basketball team. They scrap and they fight.
Only one Big 12 win, but you're right. They've stuck around for many games this season. Also in the Big 12 tonight, Oklahoma State down in Aggie land. Antoine Wright had a little bit of a struggle this season for Melvin Watkins' team. Aggies up by 2 early. John Lucas, again, former Baylor players, giving Oklahoma State the lead. And here comes Wright, again, a talented guy when he gets it going offensively.
Antoine Wright, a very talented athlete, a guy who can pull up from deep, take the ball to the basket, relies on his athleticism, needs to learn the game to try to be a more natural, instinctive player.
And John Lucas again left alone, C the 3 and B the 3. Still in the first half, Tony Allen's going to go upstairs looking for Ivan McFarland, and he finds it, punches it down, does McFarland. And Sutton's Cowboys on the road, and they've opened up a bit of a cushion on Texas A&M, 43-34, and A&M just miserable so far this season. But Oklahoma State, one of the teams sort of flying under the radar, sitting there with that 15-2 record, only 1 loss in conference play. Georgia Tech and Florida State in the ACC tonight. And you see in Pickett going from outside, coming off great performances, and the Seminoles at home, a much different team, Jay.
Boy, what an athlete. This is an athletic Florida State team, and they are especially tough at the Leon County Civic Center, where they feel very comfortable.
Georgia Tech, though, hanging around and inside. So Ismail Muhammad finished it off strong, and Pickett was feeling it, sort of a little fade away. There's not much defense for that, is there?
How do you stop that?
Florida State with a 15-point lead. They're about to knock off another ranked team at home. Look at what's happening at the Cintas Center. Xavier only a game over 500, but they have a 1-point lead at home against Cincinnati. We'll certainly keep you up to date on that. Okay, coming up next here on ESPN, we're going down to the SEC Kentucky and Florida.
Boy, that could be a really good game. Florida needs that win, but Kentucky just lost at Vanderbilt. I was at that game, and, you know, Kentucky is an outstanding defensive team, especially in the half court. When they concentrate on the offensive end, and Cliff Hawkins is strong with the ball, even though they've got to take him in and out because of his wind, that is a really good basketball team, but they have got to concentrate on their offense as well as they do on their defense.
Yeah, Chuck Hayes also and Eric Daniels, two seniors for Coach Tubby Smith, done a tremendous job this year in the paint. Really an undersized power forward, Chuck Hayes is, but has a way of blocking shots, coming up with big rebounds. He's a playmaker as well. I've said it before, Tubby Smith doing a great job at changing tempos with a short bench and mixing his defenses.
He's going to have to find a way to deal with the big fella for Florida. David Lee hits a high percentage of his shot. Cats and Gators coming up.
The first thing you notice when you arrive at Autotown is just how many clean, low-mileage, pre-owned vehicles we have in stock. Sport utilities, sports cars, family sedans, vans, and trucks, all inspected and all ready for delivery. At Autotown, we work hard to keep our overhead low so we can pass the savings on to you. So if you're looking for something ordinary or extraordinary, come visit us at 1200 West Bloomington Road in Champaign, or click on www.autotownonline.com.
Bob Simpson's Autotown. Sharp cars, sharper pencils.
Warden Martin. GM Goodwrench Service. Pleasant sales consultants who'll suit you to the right vehicle. Acres of vehicles to choose from. Warden Martin. A name that has become synonymous with quality sales and service in Central Illinois.
We've got the keys to your dream.
Rivalry. It marks territory. It sets borders. It's in your backyard. Rivalry is about passion. It brings out the best in you. It can bring out your worst. Rivalry splits families, divides friends, and defines enemies. Now, the fence lines are drawn.
It's probably hard for Travis Ford to think about missing a free throw. He's got it, had it, puts it up, and missed it at the buzzer. Florida has upset Kentucky. Third place on the line. Arithmetic Prince for the win. And it's over.
It's Rivalry Week. What side are you on?
There is little doubt that in recent years, the best rivalry in the SEC is Kentucky and Florida. And there's little doubt one of the toughest environments in the country in which to play is the O-Dome, the O'Connell Center, right here in Gainesville. Welcome to Super Tuesday. Kentucky and Florida both coming off losses on Saturday and both looking up at South Carolina in the SEC East. This is all a part of one of the best weeks of the season, Rivalry Week, presented by Cisco Systems. A long and one-sided history between Kentucky and Florida. The Cats have won 4 in a row and 6 of the last 7. Hi, everybody, and if you can hear us here in Gainesville, I'm Dan Shulman, and this is Dick Vitale. They're both coming off losses on Saturday. How big is this game tonight?
Well, it's certainly very big in SEC standings. When you look at this game, contrasting styles. If you're a Florida fan, you love offense. They lead the conference in field goal percentage. They lead the conference in scoring. On the other side, if you like defense, that is the trademark of Tubby Smith and Kentucky. Kentucky's got that winner's mentality on the road. They're able to be successful despite the loss against Vanderbilt. Bottom line, this environment has become one of the great basketball environments in college basketball. The Rowdy Reptiles are ready to go nuts. Kentucky's ready to respond. It was intense galore at the workout today. I'm telling you, Tubby's got his kids ready. Florida's ready. Take a look. The stars here, Mr. Shulman.
Well, we got a couple of big guys, both lefties, both can score, both can rebound, both can pass. These guys are a lot of fun to watch, Dickie V.
Well, you know, Daniels has become Mr. Versatility. Very effective inside. David Lee's got to get some touches on the interior. 60% shooter. I don't believe he gets enough opportunities in that 3-second area.
The starting lineup for Tubby Smith. he talked about maybe changing things up. He's been unhappy with some of his starters, exploring some more options on the bench. But for the meantime, for tonight, he goes with the same starting five that he's been using the entire season. They're not a very big group. Billy Donovan has a bigger team, but a much more inexperienced team, starting 4 sophomores and a junior, as opposed to Kentucky, Dick. They've got 3 seniors in the starting lineup.
Yeah, very young basketball team for Florida. Billy Donovan's got some outstanding youth, though. Roberson and Walsh are very, very effective scorers. They have to be much more effective defensively and rebounding. They were dominated on the glass by Tennessee, who turned around a 38-point loss into a win because they out-rebounded Florida 42-24.
And one of the things on the blackboard in the Florida locker room is have a rebounding advantage of 3 at the half. Billy Donovan wants to make sure these Gators play tough against a tough Kentucky team.
Well, you know one thing about Kentucky, the common denominator is fierce competitive defense. Man-to-man defense up in your face.
Christian Dreyer, tough baseline runner, not there, and the first of what's sure to be many rebounds for the multi-talented Eric Daniels.
He's been on fire lately, had a big game against Mississippi.
Dix misses the 15-footer, and a good rebound inside by Adrian Moss, who became a starter a couple of weeks ago. Nice feed. Dreyer off to Lee, and that's his weak hand, the right hand, as he misses the layup.
Got to convert that layup.
Chuck Hayes for 2.
He's one of the warriors in college basketball. What great execution and transition in that sequence by Kentucky.
Remember, Dick, another thing on the Florida blackboard was hold them to 5 transition points in the first half. They've already got 2.
Man, that stuff looks great on a blackboard, doesn't it? Coaches put up all those terminology.
Here's Dreyer. Nice move to shake his defense.
Nice.
Roberson wide open. Misses the 3. He's a great shooter.
Great creation right there by Dreyer, who's playing in front of his mom and dad, who came all the way from Denmark. You see their son perform here tonight?
Dreyer, a sophomore, the bad ankle injury last year, back and neck problems at times this year. Daniels loves to go to that strong hand. You got to force him the other way.
Can't allow the ball to get that deep. Once you get it in that effectively inside, you're going to score. Great rotation. They executed that today at the workout. That was one area they were trying to work on. Get it inside the game.
David Lee, double team, finds Moss. You are going to see some talented big guys here tonight.
Well, you know, Lee gets doubled up and reacts to the double team very well. Billy Donovan, former jump shooter for Rick Pitino at Providence, led him to the Final Four in '87. 2-on-2 press.
Asabuki hasn't given him much offense the last couple of games. Finds Daniels, who gets it to go.
That press will not be effective the way Kentucky passes the basketball and how effectively drilled they are against the pressure in the right places and right into the gaps and seams of that 2-on-2.
First meeting of the regular season. They'll finish off the regular season at Rupp Arena as Walsh is fouled on the drive. Well, we talked about how talented these big guys are. Let's take a look at what Eric Daniels can do.
Watch Daniels down, lock it inside. See right here. Freeze it right here. Once he's got him on his back there, he's going to wheel to the inside, and he's got a layup. He's got a layup right there. See that drop step? Oh, utilize that drop step. That's post moves. They work on that. Dave Hobbs, just like last night we saw George Blaney, gives them another head coach on that sideline, former head coach at Alabama.
Early sub for Kentucky. Josh Perry in for Gerald Fitch as Roberson buries a 3.
He can really shoot the jumper, as you said earlier. So effective with the ball in his hand.
44% on the season, but look at this passing as Asabuki follows his own miss and a block from behind.
I don't believe he can be able to press Kentucky effectively. I think they're going to get open layups like that one should have been converted.
6-5 Kentucky early, very good pace, very good intensity. The first 3 minutes of this game as Dreyer travels.
Are you shocked? I'm not shocked about the intensity. We saw some of that last night, and Connecticut was absolutely sensational. Take a look at Roberson. Stationary jumper, just says right in your face, nothing but nylon. You think we'll see some intensity Thursday night? Greatest rivalry in all of college sports.
I am privileged to be there. First time, Duke at North Carolina, Thursday night, 9 Eastern.
Wow. And Lee matched up with Hayes on the inside.
Hayes just 6'6", but he can do so many different things. He's fourth in the conference in rebounding. Finds his buddy Daniels, who misses the jumper.
They really work so effectively as a tandem. You watch the way they get good spacing with each other, Hayes and Daniels.
Look at the D by Hawkins, 30 feet away from the basket on Roberson.
Well, he's second in the league in steals.
He's a real ball hawk. Walsh on the drive. He's crafty.
They need Walsh to step up and score. Right now, he's getting a lot of attention. Excellent article today locally by Pat Dooley, fine columnist. Wide open, right down the lane, no defense. You can put a truck through there. Lack of communication. They didn't know whether they were in a zone, whether they were in a trap, or whether they were in a man-to-man.
The one thing I've heard you say the most when we do Florida games is how many easy layups right down the pipe the other team gets and how that has to stop.
Well, Billy's certainly concerned about that. That's usually a dilemma for a young team.
Here's Walsh, better than 14 a game. Walsh, Lee, and Roberson, the three big scorers for Florida.
Lee setting the screen and then a roll inside. They got to get touches inside the league.
Roberson looking for another three. Rebound Carrier getting some early minutes off that Kentucky bench. Look at Hawkins, 1-on-2, and the rebound to Moss.
Hawkins also distributing the ball really well. Not a great shooter.
Good job by Carrier. Lee felt he was fouled underneath.
Carrier's dad was an outstanding scorer at Western Kentucky, where they have some great tradition.
3-point lead, Kentucky. Let's go to the studio. Reese Davis.
All right, Dan, we just had a great finish in the Queen City. Cincinnati and Xavier on the Musketeers' home floor. Xavier down by 1. Lionel Chalmers, a little step back and drain it. Now the Bearcats down by a single. Ticking down toward 5 seconds, and Nick Williams throws it out of bounds. Xavier by 2.
Big Monday, presented by Bud Light, every week on ESPN.
Meanwhile, in Dad's office.
I'll be right back, honey.
Defending the network from human nature. This is the power of the network. Now.
Because there are 4 seasons, we make 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Available in every class of sedan and wagon. The Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC all-wheel drive.
I got you something.
Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, this is nice. And here's yours. I know it's not fancy, but it's what's inside that counts. And what's inside is Labatt Blue.
Wow.
Huh?
I love it.
Break out the blue. Labatt Blue.
Awesome gift. Oh, yeah.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of Rivalry Week is presented by Cisco Systems. This is the power of the network, now. And in part by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. And Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock.
Well, the next 35.5 minutes or anything like the first 4.5, we are in for a special treat here tonight. Great action early here on Super Tuesday. This is all a part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco Systems. Kentucky and Florida, 2 of the big-time programs in the SEC.
Well, you know, talking about big-time programs, Cincinnati, who I'd like to see play Kentucky, gets beat. I mean, Reese Davis has it there. They get beat by Xavier in a great rivalry. Xavier really having not a good year this year. Cincinnati, a little slide, lost to Charlotte at home. I mean, Bobby Huggins's not going to be a very friendly guy at practice tomorrow, Mr. Schulman.
Texas Tech Now with a bit of a lead over Baylor into the second half. You saw, if you're watching the scoreboard on the bottom there, Florida State a 16-point win over Georgia Tech.
Wow, how impressive is that what Leonard Hamilton's doing? I said next year they're going to make big noise. They're making it this year.
Bunnell Colas in off the Florida bench along with Lee Humphrey.
Changed defense in the timeout. Tubby Smith went to the zone. They worked on that zone today at the shoot-around.
A lot, yep. Brandon Stockton is checked in now for Kentucky along with Łukasz Orbchuk, the big 7-footer from Poland. Here's Carrier. Both coaches going pretty heavily into their bench. Hayes just inside the line, not there.
Really struggling shooting the basketball lately, Kentucky. In fact, Fitch in their last game was 1 for 10 on threes, 6 for 19 overall against Vanderbilt.
How about Fitch, Hawkins, and Daniels already on the bench? This is a group that has been playing a ton of minutes, but Tubby Smith meant what he said. He's going to find some options on that bench.
I think he wants to rest guys also because they've had a tendency all year not to be able to sustain leads.
They start quick, then they get worn down, and the other team makes a run at them late. Dreyer always looking to pass. Tough jump hook. Won't stay down for Colas. Dreyer passes it up. And Colas underneath. Boy, Dreyer looks like it's pass first, pass second, and then maybe I'll think about the shot.
Well, he's an excellent passer. He really has great vision. He's got the size to look over the top of the defense. You're going to watch his pass, and he dumps it on the interior. Comes back out to him. He gets a second opportunity. And now watch his penetration. It's right here. Freeze it. Right there. He creates the opportunity by coming into the gun of the defense. Excellent passer. He's got to be much more effective shooting the ball.
Colas to the line, the senior from Miami, who had been starting until recently. You can see the numbers on him. Still getting a lot of minutes, even though he's coming off the bench.
Free throw line. Florida shooting 72% as a team. You know, and that Vanderbilt lost, and they're a good basketball team.
Yeah,
Vanderbilt is very good, especially at home. Kevin Stallings got himself on. That was a big win psychologically that they needed. But in that game, Kentucky, Chuck Hayes got in foul trouble, and he was 1 for 7 from the field. Kentucky shot 3 for 19 from the trifecta.
They are not a great three-point shooting team. Offensively, they have such good passing, such good spacing. They're able to get close to the basket more than most teams.
Where do you see their perimeter game next year as Colas scores when they add Rando and Crawford and Bradley and Sparks, who's sitting out and transfer to Western Kentucky? Oh, watch out if they ever get the big guys.
How about your 6'8" big guy, Daniels, bringing the ball up against the press? How versatile is he? Used to be a guard in high school.
Well, he's one of those guys who can play a lot of positions, excellent passer. I think one of the really keys for Kentucky is the way they pass the basketball.
Humphrey the foul, his first. Whether it's Daniels, whether it's Hayes, the big guys pass the ball as well as the guards. Look at what Tubby's done.
How good has Tubby been at Kentucky? It's been amazing. And Billy the same at Florida. I mean, this place was nowhere near the kind of spirit that exists. He has created an incredible environment. This has become one of the great environments in college basketball.
Well, the students, the Rowdy Reptiles, had filled the sections behind us 2 hours ago. And we saw a couple hundred of them out on the street at 11 o'clock this morning waiting to get in.
And I had a lot of fun with them. You told me, isn't it nice that you're very shy?
Rolls down the window as we're driving by to holler at him. Daniels with a sweet pass and a block by Lee.
Great job by Lee. Rotating over. Excellent anticipation. Comes the way of St. Louis as the Rowdy Reptiles. Watch the rotation. Now watch Lee. See how he rotates over? There he is. Excellent timing. We saw the greatest shot blocker in college last night. Emeka Okafor.
And a lopsided Connecticut win over Syracuse.
That wasn't a real Syracuse team. Not without Billy Edelin. Puts too much pressure on Jerry McNamara.
Here's Dreyer handling the ball right now, but Robertson on the bench. And the foul.
He just loves to pass the ball. Very rare today that you get guys with that kind of skill that want to pass it. He's got to work on making shots and not even make his passing game a lot better. How good was Connecticut last night?
Unbelievable.
They were incredible. I'll tell you, I really think when you talk about playing tournament time, Jim Calhoun's team is going to be dynamite on a neutral court. They have to improve on the free throw line.
I told you last night that I think if every team in the country plays to the best of their abilities, Connecticut is the best team in the country. When they're playing great, I mean, Villanueva, I know you were so impressed with him last night.
No, you did tell me that last night. You told me that 3 times on a plane when I was trying to eat my salad, you wouldn't let me eat it.
Well, I don't get a chance to talk much during the game, so I got to talk to you after the game.
You never give me any airtime. You, Musburger, and also Patrick, never give me any airtime. Where are you, Brad Nessler?
More pressure from the Gators. And it's having an impact right here, and Kentucky has to use a timeout.
See, made that substitution. This club is a good club to press. This club here, not that club that started.
As we celebrate our 25th season of college basketball, time now to flash back into the ESPN archive.
It has been LSU all night long. They cut it to 20, as silly as that might sound. Harrison for three.
Might be starting to make some sounds like they're going to make a run here.
Unbelievable. Kentucky within three. McCarty for three. He got it. Incredible.
Maybe one of the greatest comebacks I've seen in a long, long time. From 31 points down, a comeback by Kentucky. Look at Billy. Doesn't Billy look like he'd like to put a uniform on and get out there and play still?
Well, he looks like he can play. He was some kind of shooter in '87. You had Donovan on one side. You got Steve Alford was another great shooter. That's a rarity now. When we look at great shooters, you think about Steve Novak, who made 8 threes for Marquette against Louisville. You certainly got to think about J.J. Redick, who we'll see on Thursday night from out of Duke.
This guy Roberson here's not bad. Brandon Stockton stays in the game at the point. Again, Tubby Smith living up to his promise of using his bench more. We'll see if Florida can pressure Kentucky more, but Hawkins on the bench.
See, I would come after them. I would really come after them with a lot more pressure.
Antoine Barber into the game now as well.
He made 3 big threes in a game against Mississippi.
Shot clock at 2. Daniels gets it up in time.
I tell you, he always seems to be in the right place at the right time, like he was in a scenario down there in Starkville when they beat Mississippi State, who has only 1 loss. We better start giving them some love.
18-1, and the only loss, as you said, at the buzzer by 1 point to Kentucky.
And if I were voted for Player of the Year in this conference, it would be hands down Mr. Roberts.
How about the move by Barber, and he is fouled. He went behind the back on the break right there.
Came in so ballyhooed, they thought he was going to be a super player. You talk about Antoine Barber. Here he is right now attacking the glass. Was a sensational player in junior college. Wow. Had an injury at the beginning of last year after he was starting and never really recovered.
The closest thing that Tubby Smith has to a 6th man, although he's used 7 different players as his first man off the bench at some point this season. Here comes Hawkins back into the game.
You know, he was 4 for 5 against Ole Miss shooting threes. Prior to that, he was 1 for 13. People wonder where we get all those little tidbits. Scott Strickland and all their people, Mandy, they do a great job at Kentucky.
Fred Demarest,
does a phenomenal job in Florida. I tell you, the SIDs to me across America are the most underappreciated people in the business. They do a phenomenal job. Like this is the info we'll get from Steve Kirshner of Carolina and John Jackson of Duke. Same thing.
Connecticut on the road leading by 5 in this heavily anticipated matchup against the Florida Gators. Muhammad Abubakar, number 21, good long-range shooter, into the game for the first time for Florida.
They're deciding to double up when Lee gets the ball to the inside. They're rotating over to get the ball out of his hand.
There's a block. Daniels got him. Shot clock does not reset. Roberson for 3. And we've got a push underneath that's going to go against Chris Richard.
Richard with that little push on the rebound. Bottom line is their game strategy defensively. We talk about Kentucky's to double up on Lee when he touches the ball on the interior to get the ball out of his hands.
Here's Hayes helping to bring the ball over now for Kentucky. 8 minutes into the game, and Florida, the highest scoring team in the SEC, has only 7 points.
I think the tempo right now, you got to give edge. Kentucky's got to like this tempo.
Good job by Hawkins to draw the contact there. Roberson commits the foul, and they're going to call that a shooting foul. 2 shots for Hawkins.
You know, Dan, tempo was so important. We talked about it last night, how Connecticut's game plan was to play at a quicker pace. And once the game got quick, they were able to blow it open. You have to really play to your strengths. And tempo right here is now the way of Kentucky.
Some teams just won't let you play fast. Quick teams go in there against a team like Pittsburgh and try to play fast. They just won't let you.
What a game that's going to be. Pittsburgh and Connecticut down there at Pitt. You talk about the physical ability of Pittsburgh.
Hawkins misses a couple of free throws. Rebound Walsh.
Walsh is learning now that he's become a well-known player, but he gets a lot more attention. He has to really work on how to get free and get himself in better position for good opportunities.
Scoring is up this year, but shooting percentages are down for Matt Walsh. Look inside for Richard. He's a wide body. Dreyer again passes it up. Walsh for 3. Florida so good at making the extra pass, and there's a foul David Lee may regret later on in this game.
They did a great job of reversing that basketball to get that open shot.
Kentucky by 5 as we step aside. Dickie V's SEC breakdown when we come back to Gainesville after this.
Because there are 4 seasons, we make 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Available in every class of sedan and wagon. The Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC all-wheel drive.
I got you something.
Hmm? Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, this is nice. And here's yours. I know it's not fancy, but it's what's inside that counts. And what's inside is Labatt Blue.
Wow.
Huh?
I love it.
Break out the blue. Labatt Blue.
Awesome gift. Oh, yeah.
On February 20th, 2 men will settle their score.
I'll take a 7.
It's 15.
No way!
Let's count them. 1 out of bounds, 4 in the sand, 9, you almost hit me. 10, you did hit me. That's when you said that curse that I've never heard before. 15 in the hole.
Ray Romano.
I'm running for the mayor of Mooseport.
Gene Hackman.
I'm running against the man installing my toilet?
Welcome to Mooseport. Rated PG-13. February 20th. Only in theaters.
Cracked cranium. $10 copay.
Aye, aye. Aye, aye. Aye, aye.
Bruised cornea. $10 copay.
Okay.
Dislocated jaw. Fractured wrist. Mild concussion. $10 copay. No hurt feelings.
I'm poisoned.
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted by optometrists, neurologists, and orthopedists.
Welcome back to Gainesville here on Super Tuesday. This is continuing coverage of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco Systems. Kentucky on the road leading Florida by 5. Dick, I think everybody would agree the SEC has had one of the strongest years of any conference in the country. Break down this league a little bit for us.
Well, you know, you take a look right there in the East. What a shock up on top. South Carolina at 5-2. Have a shot now with Alabama, and then they go at Kentucky. But they have been a major surprise. You have right now in this conference 5 teams with potential NCAA berths. I mean, Tennessee and Vanderbilt are in pretty good shape, but now they're all going to beat each other. In the West, it's been domination by Rick Stansbury's club, Mississippi State. LSU certainly hanging for a bid if they don't get themselves knocked out. Because one thing in this league, every game you better lace them up. You better come to play. If you don't come to play and focus, think about this. Florida wins by 38 over Tennessee at home, goes on the road, and gets beat by a deuce.
I think what might separate this league from some of the other leagues, yes, the top is strong, but as you say, the bottom, I mean, you go to Auburn, you go to Arkansas, you go to anywhere, and you go to Georgia, that's a tough team.
Hey, Georgia beat Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky, that was a shot. So much so that Pat Dooley, the writer here, told people, I'll shave my head if that'll ever happen. It never will happen. He had to shave his hair, and he looked like you and me.
The Hawkins 3 gives Kentucky an 8-point lead. Guy not known for his outside shooting, but he knocks it down.
Take a look right here now. Freeze that, freeze that. Look how wide open he is. There's nobody near him. I mean, I can make that shot. Look at that, wide open. Not guarded. Where is the defense? Hey, nobody wants to look like you and me, man. I mean, Steve Russian, a great writer for SI, is doing a write-up for me today about Bournemouth. There goes the layup.
Ross with a hard foul from behind. He's pleading his case to John Crockett. He's saying, I got all ball.
You know, good play, though. Make him go to the free throw line. He had the easy layup. He went after the ball. Here's the steal. Watch this. Mitch keeps it alive. He's got a lot of family and friends here tonight. Looks like he got all ball.
Yeah.
Looks like he got all ball. Take a look right there. I mean, well, I don't know. Came back down on the arm. Depends on what angle you're looking at. I'll let you be the judge. You got 2 eyes. I got 1.
Gerald Fitz to the line for Kentucky. Boy, they're hurting themselves early here from the line, and they're a pretty good free throw shooting team. Both of these teams, in fact, come in at 72%.
Gotta make free throws, especially on the road. You got to take advantage of those opportunities.
Kentucky just grinding away, possession by possession. And when it was a close game, all of a sudden you look up, Kentucky's got a 9-point lead.
Well, they've had a lot of leads. In fact, in every game this year, with the exception of 2, they have double-digit leads.
But other teams have had a habit of making comebacks against them in the second half as they get worn down.
Stamina's been a problem.
Not that their players aren't in shape, but that they don't have much of a bench. But Tubby Smith going to the bench more in recent games. And now Florida, a great offensive team. They sure don't look like it here tonight.
That was a bad play right there by Lee. He had an opportunity as you look at the double-digit leads and what happened in the scenario. Incredible. UCLA was absolutely embarrassed, humiliated by a very poor St. John's team.
Lost by 16 a few days ago, 71-55.
Notre Dame struggling, really going to be tough to get a bid. They got 2 dates coming up with Connecticut.
And the crowd trying to keep its enthusiasm. They need a little offense here for the Gators. Right now, Florida needs a stop to keep this thing at single digits. Pitch with the fadeaway, rebound Dreyer.
This crowd was so electric before the game, but they got to help them out with the way they perform. Same thing happened in Maryland game here. They were fired up. Maryland got a big lead.
That's when Florida was #1. They were #1 for a week last year, lost to Kentucky. #1 for a week this year, and then lost 2 games in the same week.
Well, they were #1 last year. We went in there to do the game, and they were humiliated and blown out by Kentucky up at Rupp Arena. Rupp Arena and the Dean Dome are very similar to me. They're like museums, man. Great tradition, history. You walk in and you get goosebumps when you think about all the great players.
And again, we'll be at the Dean Dome Thursday night. Duke at North Carolina as rivalry week presented by Cisco Systems continues.
Your wife's going, my wife's going. Everybody's excited about it.
Roberson trying to use the high screen by Moss.
Andy Katz just sent me a note. He said, I'm going too. What about me?
Andy Katz, a celebrity here in Gainesville tonight, signing autographs like crazy. Extra pass again. Humphrey took a bump. Play continues. Still 10 on the shot clock. Moss from the free throw line.
Wide open, good execution, step in the gap, move the basketball, go to the open area.
Dick, we got 2 teams who can really pass the basketball here tonight.
Well, they're drilled that way. Both guys worked on the same staff under Rick Pitino at Kentucky.
Hayes looking for a cutter now. Bumps Moss. Follows his own miss, and he's called for the foul.
Hayes played on the Pan Am team, beat out Hakeem Warwick, who I was awfully impressed with last night. I thought Warwick was sensational. His improvement has just been amazing.
At 26 in a losing effort. You talked about that staff under Rick Pitino, one of the great coaching staffs in recent memory. Billy Donovan was a graduate assistant on this staff.
Wow, take a look at Tubby and Billy in those early days. I mean, think about right there. Ralph Willard, who does a great job. Herb Sendick, Rock, certainly a great guy in training, physical fitness. Rick Pitino knows people. He knows guys that are winners. He put that staff together.
Louisville got a game at Memphis tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Then you and I'll see him at Charlotte next week.
Can't wait to go to Charlotte and also to Stillwater, some new places.
Kansas and Oklahoma State Monday night. Pitch using the screen, gets inside. Rashid Al-Khalil knocked it free, but then the foul is called on Moss.
Did a great job trying to form a little triangle to make that happen by getting into that 3-second area. Gonna take a look right here, playing on the inside. There's the little dump down. He feels he's got a layup, but he brings the ball down. Khalil does a good job rotating over. Now he's gonna go to the line and convert.
And to the line goes Eric Daniels, who just gets better and better every year.
Kentucky has dominated, as you said earlier, Dan, this series the last 4 times. And certainly Florida's had outstanding teams, but Kentucky's won the last 4, 6 out of 7.
Against some very good Florida teams, although Tubby Smith is quick to say, hey, listen, this team is just not as good as last year's team was. They lost Bogans and Estel and Kamara. They lost some important players.
They lost size. Yeah. Estel would have been such a factor here, and he stayed in school. His stock would have went up. He's playing over in Europe now, over in Italy. Kamara's playing over in Turkey, and Bogans is playing with the Magic, and they are struggling.
30-second timeout taken by the Florida Gators. The Gators, the Reptiles are still into it. They got 9 points in 12 minutes. How are they going to make these Reptiles happy?
Well, they got to get these rowdy Reptiles all fired up, and right now they're not getting fired up by the way they're playing. I mean, the bottom line is you have the crowd get into it when you're playing well. They need some fast break opportunities. The one great thing that Tubby Smith does He negates the transition game. He gets that right away, and that's what he's done thus far tonight.
You know, we talk about how a Kentucky game is so big every time they go into another team's building. It's the biggest game of the season for the most part. But for Kentucky, they're used to that because it happens all the time.
They take everybody's best heat. It's just like the Fighting Irish in football. It's like everybody rises. You look at Tubby Smith. Whenever they see the pinstripes of the Yankees, they play at another level. Certain teams bring out the best, man. Bring out the best.
Tubby's got the best eyes in college basketball. He's got those Mike Singletary eyes.
Tubby's a special guy, great family man. Glad to see that his son was not seriously injured in an auto accident he had recently, Saul.
Moss, Dreyer, Walsh, Roberson, and Al Kaleem on the floor right now for Florida. Again, 9 points, now closing in on 12 minutes of action for the highest scoring team in the SEC.
You know, they average making 7.8 threes a game, and you can see the perimeter defense was a priority for Kentucky because they're attacking their three-point shooters.
Boy, they recovered.
Look at them attack.
Boy,
help them recover. And that's a bad shot. If that goes down, that's a bad shot.
3 on the shot clock, not much of a choice, and now Fitch will bring it back to the Cats.
You got to put it down to strong man-to-man defense.
You can see how stingy that Kentucky defense is, and they're winning the battle right now against the Florida offense.
Well, they hold people under 40% field goal percentage shooting. Again, that's been a common denominator, a staple of Kentucky basketball under Tubby Smith. Won a national title in '98.
John Fogarty with a foul on Christian Dreyer as David Lee checks back into the game. Roberson will go out.
You know, Dan, I don't think people realize what an achievement it was last year for Kentucky. After getting beat by Louisville, to run the table in the SEC and then to win the SEC tournament. That's a tribute to that coaching staff. That's amazing because this conference is not Cupcake City.
You know, a couple of days ago, you and I were having breakfast, and a Kentucky fan walked up to you and started talking about the team and said, Dick, 14-3, they lost in Vandy. What's going on? And that's what's going on at 14-3 in Tubby Smith? You gave your dissertation, and he said, you know, we have some pretty high expectations.
I know. 14-3 is a disappointment.
And Tubby Smith knows that better than anybody. Sometimes it's hard to please everybody, even with a 14-3 record.
Well, it's like the Yankees going to the World Series. If they don't win, it's a failure.
See Al Kaleem with a bucket.
He's a shooter. He came in with a reputation as a shooter. Nice little curl move.
Hawkins finds Bernard Cote, who lays it in with the left hand.
Nice pass by Hawkins. He's lefty, so it's a strong hand. Gets it to Cote, who's a lefty, and that's his strong hand.
Cote had a big 3-game stretch back in January. Had not played a whole lot recently, but right now, Tubby Smith's going to try a lot of guys off that bench as Al Kaleem turns it over.
Sharpshoot actually was getting more playing time now over Cote.
Kentucky on the road, up 10 on Florida.
Because there are 4 seasons, we make 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Available in every class of sedan and wagon. The Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC all-wheel drive.
The island calls out to the NFL's best. These barons of the breakaway.
He's gone.
Rulers of reception. The stores of the big play.
The guy can fly.
Pillars of protection.
Oh, man.
The Pro Bowl is on ESPN. Football is the great game. These are its greatest players. The 2004 Pro Bowl, Sunday at 7:30 on ESPN.
TIS College Bookstore. More than one location, more than just books. Illini fans, TIS makes getting the stuff you need to show off your true colors easy. You'll find the largest selection of Illini stuff around, so you're sure to find something that scores big with you, or as a gift for your favorite Fighting Illini fan, big or small. We also have a special section of buy one, get one free t-shirts. Find us on campus and Marketplace Mall. TIS College Bookstore.
Want to watch your favorite Discovery Kids shows? Whenever you want? At the touch of a button? Now you can with Kids Unlimited, available from Insight Digital.
You gotta see this.
Check out the very best episodes of the very best shows, all from Discovery Kids. Woo-hoo! Order today, and you'll have the best of Discovery Kids instantly at your fingertips.
Yes!
Go to Channel 99 or call Insight today for Kids Unlimited. What's your insight?
Reese Davis with you in the studio. In case you missed it, Bob Knight was indeed on the bench for Texas Tech against Baylor tonight following his disagreement with the university chancellor yesterday. Baylor hung around for a while, but Andre Emmett would follow his own here. Red Raiders pull away in the second half. 4 change to go. They're up by 14.
Reese, thank you very much. Here, Kentucky leading Florida by 10 on Super Tuesday. You spoke to Coach Knight today. What's your take on the situation?
Well, the bottom line is obviously he's been a genius between the lines. Outside the lines, he's had creative problems with his explosive antics. Bottom line is in this scenario here, I don't think there was much there, or they would have certainly suspended him. I mean, it's as simple as can be there. And speaking to him, I can tell you this. The one thing he conveyed to me was how much he loves Texas Tech, how much he loves the players, the administration, Gerald Myers, the AD, and all he wants to do is coach, coach, and coach. And between the lines, they don't get much better.
Got a pretty good team this year, too.
Tonight they had a little struggle. I think some of this has really been effective.
Cote looking in for Daniels. David Lee knocks it away. Good defense there by the Gators.
They really are locking up on the Gators on the perimeter.
The lowest scoring first half in the game this season for Florida is 27 points. They've got 11 points right now.
Tremendous defensive effort by Kentucky. I mean, it's just not accident. They are really in their faces.
Azubuike forcing when nothing's there, and Lee brings it down.
Shot selection really not good.
Walsh in transition.
That's when they're at their best. When they control the lane, get up the court, get the running game going, they are a different basketball team. It is almost mandatory that you must keep them away from transition. Take a look right now. There they are pushing it out, and here's Walsh going to finish, taking it up strong. You know, you talk about running games. We talked about it last night. We think Connecticut, Arizona, and North Carolina have the premier running games in basketball. So obviously, you got to get those teams into a 5-on-5. Spoke to Lute Olson today, and he's really excited about his young kids. He said, we're so young, and Shakur getting better and better. And 4 guys in that lineup shooting better than 50%.
Matt Walsh, a very good free throw shooter, better than 80%, cannot complete the three-point play. Good look here for Azubuike, and the rebound to dry. Azubuike's gone cold the last week or so.
And he's been a good time scorer coming out of high school. They feel he gives some point production. Nice pass.
David Lee just bowling his way to the bucket, dumping it off for Polish, who can't finish.
Well, what they did is they cut off Lee when he tried to go to the goal. Their game plan is to run with another guy at him.
Miscommunication between Cote and Azubuike turns it over. Tomorrow night it is NBA Wednesday on ESPN, and what a matchup as the Lakers take on LeBron and the Cavs in Cleveland. NBA Wednesday on ESPN. Coverage begins with NBA shoot-around at 8 Eastern.
Hey, Dan, as I wrote in my book, and I said many a time, and I don't change, he is the best high school player I've ever seen on the high school level in my 25 years in ESPN. Just like the guy to my right, Dave Gavitt, is the most influential man in my 25 years. Dave Gavitt, former Providence coach, giving the color tonight for Westwood One here on radio. The architect, there he is, the architect of the Big East, and just a phenomenal guy. Has a great feel for intercollegiate athletics.
Roberson off the screen, big shot. It's a 2 for Florida.
But that was in rhythm. That was an excellent pattern. They ran it rhythm. There was cohesiveness. Come off the screen.
Roberson with 5, and Florida back within 6.
Trying to pick it up, starting to get a little up the bow on their side.
Fitch with a good look. What an answer there by the Cavs.
He's made some big threes this year. Knocked one down against Carolina late in the game, and also Michigan State that were difference makers.
36% from beyond the arc this season. Now knocked away by Hayes, one of the better defenders in the SEC.
That was a big three to go up 9. Last game we talked about, he was 1 for 10 on a trifecta. Take a look right here. There's Gerald Fitch. Knocks it down. He's their scorer from the perimeter. They need him to be effective as a shooter.
Already 7 different players have scored for Kentucky in this game, led by Eric Daniels with 7. Anthony Roberson leads Florida with 5. Nice look to Lee. And he will go to the line.
He never gets an open opportunity here because they're always rotating another player toward him. Not only he's got to deal with the guy that's defending him and trying to beat him to the post, but as soon as he gets the basketball, they're running the offside guy right at him.
The foul on Barber, and that will send Lee to the line. He is a mid-season Wooden Award candidate as they narrow a list down to 30 players. And Lee is on that list. Fitch is on the list as well.
Gave you my All-American team last night, my mid-season guys I laid A's on.
Okafor and Nelson, I guess the two guys that everybody talks about on the first team. You had Andre Emmett on that first team as well. Ryan Gomes from Providence and Luke Jackson from Oregon.
I'll tell you, Lute Olson just raved about Luke Jackson today. He said he's having a phenomenal year. We know Gomes is having a big-time year for Timmy Welsh from Providence.
Barber on the drive, cut off.
Hayes lays a mean screen, trying to go to a two-man game with Hayes and Fitch.
Orbshoot with a good cut and a great find by Hayes. Orbshoot's getting better and better. He's from Poland, a freshman, didn't start playing basketball until he was 15 years of age.
Yeah, he's got to learn to use the left hand because with his traffic, the way he was coming. See, now watch this right here. He's going to come off the screen right in this area. Watch this, right down the gut. There he is, gets the ball. He's going to use that left hand. Going to your left. A lot easier than taking it with that right hand.
Dreyer back into the game for Abakar. Orbshoot's effectiveness, his minutes, all of his numbers starting to go up. Tubby Smith has 2 7-footers on the team. He has 7-foot 3-inch Shagari Aline, who does not play much at all. Orbshoot has improved more the last couple of months than Aline has.
You know, I think Aline gets a lot stronger. You saw some good things he did in practice today. I think redshirting him would have been a good idea. Keeping him out for 1 year, developing his body, because they're going to need that size next year. They lose some key players.
Yeah. Including Daniels at 6'8". For the most part, Daniels and Hayes, 6'8" and 6'6". That's the front court for Kentucky. Walsh from Lee.
That's created because of the double team right on Lee, and he knows immediately that his buddy and his sidekick, the guy he runs with on the campus down here, wide open for that three.
And David Lee hollering up a storm to the other end to tighten up the defense and help the Gators back into this game.
And that's leadership, man. When you're back there, you let your teammates know where to be on the floor.
Wave it off. No basket on the shot by Hawkins. A foul going against Kentucky away from the ball, and it'll be Orbshoot.
I see a little bit of a flow here starting to go the way of Billy Donovan in Florida.
Number 2 on Orbshoot. Timeout on the floor. Donovan's Gators are back within 7 in what's become a real struggle. Rivalry week presented by Cisco Systems here from Gainesville.
Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the men are really socking the ball. Not those home runs over the wall.
Only one of these 12 fans will win their dream job.
First quarter action.
Locked up in a tight one.
16 points in the first half.
As the next SportsCenter anchor. ESPN's Dream Job. Series premiere Sunday, February 22nd, 10 p.m. on ESPN.
Meanwhile, on the 4th floor...
When?
20 minutes ago.
An internet worm.
And a sneaky one, too. Came from the inside.
But the guys from IT said we're safe.
It was caught by the network, automatically. They say we're fine.
How does something like that get in here?
Hey, Daddy, I downloaded a new game on your computer. It's really cool.
Protecting networks and everyone around them. This is the power of the network. Now.
And cash or credit? Hey, Bank One.
I'm just really into whales.
I love fish sticks.
Find the card that fits you best.
Oh, she's so cute. Yes, you right there.
Bank One. Individual answers.
What do you play for? USA!
In 3 days, Miracle is the year's first great bell.
This is your time.
Miracle, rated PG.
Believe it not.
Starts Friday.
Whoa. Digital widescreen high-definition TVs with digital auto convergence and HD component video inputs. 65-inch widescreen display, translucent OSD, dual tuner, picture-in-picture, plus high-speed velocity scan modulation. Don't touch.
Hey guys, check out the game in high def.
Now
thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
Reese Davis, Jay Billis, Steve Lavin with you. Coming up on the Bank One halftime report, Bob Knight on the sideline will show you how the Red Raiders did against Baylor. Rivalry week heated up with a thrilling finish in Cincinnati. Bearcats got X'd out. Can you make a definitive statement from what you've seen in the first half of Kentucky and Florida?
The key is tempo. A half-court game really favors Kentucky. If you get up and down, Florida is going to have an advantage. They've got to force some turnovers, get some easy baskets.
Well, Tubby Smith, like a great traffic cop, determines when you're going to go fast and when you're going to slow it down. Different tempos.
We'll also show you another great performance from a Florida State Seminole in a bit, guys.
Hey, Reese, no doubt that Jay and Steve are 100% accurate in that assessment. We're going to look at a little inside-out play right here. Watch Lee as he takes the ball to the interior. Freeze it right there. See how he draws a double up? Now he's going to be looking to the opposite guy right here. Wide open. Inside out. Throws the ball, kicks it out, and there's the three. Defensive man staring at the ball in the 3-second area, didn't rotate out and give enough recovery.
I don't know about you, Dick. Neither Lee nor Daniels are what you'd call classic back-to-the-basket big men. But the way they run, the way they pass, they do so many things. I mean, they're awfully entertaining to watch play basketball these
Well,
two
they're
guys.
very versatile and multidimensional. They do a lot of things. They really grow on you as a player. The more you watch them, the more you appreciate their effort.
They were our star watch, and they're covering one another right now. Florida has worked it back to just a 7-point deficit late in the first half. Oh, there's a tough foul for Daniels to pick up.
Hey, 7 for 21. That's 1/3, man. 7 and 7 is 1. 7 and 21 is 3. I taught the 6th grade. That's lowest common denominator. Take a look right here. Silly foul right here. You got to beat him to the basketball. Come on, Daniels got to know better than that.
Just the first on Daniels, 1-1 for David Lee.
I'll tell you, this game draws out a lot of big-time media people as well. I see Hubert Meisel in the house, outstanding writer from out of St. Pete. See guys like Mick Huber from my hometown of Sarasota, great guy, does a phenomenal job. Cody Barnhart in the house from out of Atlanta. Dave Gavitt in the house working on radio.
It's a big game.
Jerry Tipton always at the control for Lexington, Kentucky, writer.
Pitch returns. Carrier goes out for Kentucky. Well, it has not been a pretty first half for the Florida Gators, but they've got to feel better as they creep back into this one, that Kentucky has not run away from them, because they know that teams have had more success in the second half against Kentucky this year than the first.
Yeah, you're not going to run away from Florida on this floor. We saw it with Maryland, had that big lead, and it finally went down to overtime before Nick Kane and Medley put a show on. Playing a lot better on the defensive end here right now, Florida as well.
Hayes giving up some size to Lee, looking for Daniels. Barber with the weak side rebound.
Barber's a kid that can give them a big lift. If he can give them some point production coming off the bench, they're looking for a guy to give them instant offense.
Boy, does Kentucky know how to answer. Every time you feel the momentum really starting to shift, they come up with a bucket at the other end. Walsh trying to get on track. We saw him dominate against Arizona early in the season. How about that bounce for Roberson?
He got to bounce his way because that was not an easy three. They defended that really well. They attacked the perimeter, had a hand in his face, and yet it still went down.
Roberson's second three of the game, and the lead is down to 4. Make it 6.
What a nice little move. The reverse layup to the inside, uses the basket as a protection.
The senior from Cincinnati, Eric Daniels, now the high scorer in the game with 9 points.
I would love to see Cincinnati, Kentucky Player of the Year. That would be a heck of a matchup.
Yeah, that's on the short list of rivalries you want to see that aren't happening. Lee double teamed again. Steal by Hayes.
He turned right into the double team, though.
No call as Walsh goes down, and a double dribble is the call on Hayes.
Take a look at Roberson right now. Look at the hand right in his face. I mean, the hand is up, the hand is in his face. That's all a coach can ask defensively. On the other side, look at Daniels. He should never be allowed to get that baseline. The first rule you learn as a defensive player is you lock that baseline up.
Richard came over to double team him, and Daniels spun so quickly, he got out of it.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, I'm coaching. They sit next to me.
32?
He's sitting next to me.
Richard?
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You can't give the baseline up. There's no way. I can understand guys missing shots, but you can't have those kind of breakdowns.
Kentucky by 6, inside 2 minutes to go, first half.
I was tough, you know. I was tough.
Oh, I can imagine. You're tough now. Roberson with a miss. Moss the rebound.
I'm mellow. That's my word for Mr. Knight. Be mellow as you get older. Mellow. Let Jello mellow.
Roberson exploring. Here comes Moss with a high screen. Got a mismatch now.
Oh, he's looking for that skip pass for the three.
Deep range for Walsh. Won't go. Another rebound for Daniels.
Just love playing that style of Florida. He'll give you the license to shoot the ball, Billy Donovan.
Here's the trailer. Daniels, and he has him knocked away. And then Walsh, a foul on Hawkins, and Tubby Smith is going nuts right now about the call.
Yeah, he thought Walsh used his free hand. He thought Walsh used his free hand. Look at Billy Donovan. You think these coaches are earning their mega dollars? Look at the intensity. Look at the motion. Emotion, baby.
10th foul called on Kentucky. 2 shots for Walsh, and now John Clougherty going over to listen to Tubby Smith. The Reptiles want to see him get teed up.
This is my last year blowing the whistle. I'm not going to call tees. I'm going to enjoy the ride.
He's mellow.
He's mellow. Take a look right here. Now, see, he thinks he uses the free hand right there to get free, but the foul was called prior to that hand. Look at Tubby working that sideline. They got two great coaches in the state of Kentucky with Tubby on one side, with Pitino on the other.
Walsh knocks him down. He's got 7. Gators back within 4. Reptiles on their feet.
I told you earlier, you could just feel the starting to swing, Mr. Shulman.
They had, I think, 11 points with 8 minutes to go. Florida's gotten 15 points since, and a block.
Just gave up the baseline again. This crowd are getting really alive. They knocked down a 3, Walsh or Roberson.
Drive with a big size advantage. Barber out on him. Walsh behind the back, but out of bounds.
That's hot dog, man. That's mustard. You don't need that play. Don't need that play. That's a turnover. He's not happy with that play right there.
Coming up at halftime, it's the Bank One halftime report as Reese and Jay and Steve will look at Bob Knight's situation. A great game in Cincinnati and a big win for Leonard Hamilton and Florida State tonight over Georgia Tech.
He just took Matt Walsh out because that was a no-no. You don't need that kind of play there, man. That's great on a playground. That's great having fun with your buddies, but it's not great in a game against Kentucky when there's a lot at stake.
30-second timeout called by Kentucky. Walsh can do the spectacular, but also he can do those kinds of things every now and again that drive Billy Donovan crazy.
Well, he agitated the fans down in Tennessee after making a big shot, got all on him. Got to be a little showbiz there. He's a tough player, though. The kid is really very competitive. He's a fierce winner.
Thursday night, ESPN2 has a complete night of college basketball as Rivalry Week presented by Cisco Systems rolls on. Number 3, Connecticut, led by Diana Taurasi, taking on number 1, Tennessee at 7 Eastern. And then right after that, it's the number 1 team on the men's side, the Duke Blue Devils, J.J. Redick and company at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill to take on May, Felton, the Cats, and the Tar Heels. It's all a part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco Systems on ESPN and ESPN2. I can't wait.
Well, you know, I talked to Art Chansky today, who's going to be writing a book about that rivalry, North Carolina and Duke. And I'll tell you something, down there in Chapel Hill, they don't lose too often. Roy Williams is going to build something special. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Carolina basketball has a buzz to it again.
A 7-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Pitch for 3.
Good execution. Nobody in his face. They rotate the ball over. He was really focusing on his shot today at the workout. But 1 for 10 will do that.
Yeah, his second 3 that he's made in this game. Trying to get time for Florida to get a last shot off. Roberson, a deep 3.
Oh, that'll give you a little more. That'll give you a little more. It's rivalry week. It's awesome, baby. Oh, what a big 3 right there by Roberson. That'll get you on your feet. That'll get the Rowdy Reptiles all excited. Smile, Gerald. You're still leading, baby. Oh, Here's Robinson. He shot this from Sarasota, Florida. He shot that from my living room, baby.
Third three of the first half for Anthony Roberson, and the Gators are right back in it, guys. Down by 4. Bank One halftime report. Reese, Jay, and Steve, take it away.
All right, Dan, the Gators were still in single digits with about 7 minutes to go in the first half. A little offense. We've got a game coming in the second half. You hear from Jay and Steve in just a little bit. Well, Dan Marino, just 3 weeks after accepting a position created especially for him as senior vice president of the Dolphins, has resigned, saying it's not in the best interest of his family or the team for him to continue in that position. Also, the NBA has announced its all-star reserves. Most notable among the exclusions, LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony. James, one of 4 guys league-wide, averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Got to pay your dues as a rookie. Sports Center coming up after the game. Much more on both of those stories. We continue on the Bank One halftime report. Bob Knight on the sideline for Texas Tech. We'll show you his night in a bit.
Basketball, brought to you by K Jewelers. This Valentine's Day, surprise her with diamond from K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
The crying, it's a good thing?
It's a very good thing.
A round Baguette diamond ring from Kay means 2 things. Every diamond is hand-selected, and she'll absolutely love it.
You're still crying.
I'm still happy. Every kiss begins with K.
On February 20th, 2 men will settle their score.
I'll take a 7.
It's 15.
No way.
Let's count them. 1 out of bounds, 4 in the sand, 9, you almost hit me. 10, you did hit me. That's when you said that curse that I've never heard before. 15 in the hole.
Ray Romano.
I'm running for the mayor of Mooseport.
Gene Hackman.
I'm running against the man installing my toilet.
Welcome to Mooseport. Rated PG-13. February 20th. Only in theaters.
I gotta call my dad. The man just got unseated. Hey, Dad? Yeah, it's T. Yeah, I just had a burger at Sonic, and it's the best burger I ever had. Yeah, better than yours. But it's no reflection on you as a man. Dad?
Fresh, made to order. Sonic does it, others don't. It's Sonic good.
It's man versus the laws of physics. The PBA Tour. The march to the PBA World Championship continues at a new time. The PBA 61st U.S. Open. Sunday at 12:30 p.m. on ESPN.
Tonight on Sports Center, Texas Tech's coaching 2-step. Dan Marino steps down in Miami. Rookie phenom all-star snubs plus a classic rematch in NYC. It's Sports Center after the game on ESPN.
Welcome to the Bank One halftime report.
A late offensive flurry in front of the Rowdy Reptiles. Number 21, Florida back in it against number 9, Kentucky. 33-29 at the break. Glad to have you with us on Super Tuesday in rivalry week. Well, for most of the day, it appeared that Bob Knight would not be on the bench for Texas Tech against Baylor, a day after his public altercation disagreement with University Chancellor David Smith. But late in the day, it was decided Bob Knight would indeed coach against Baylor. No suspension would be in order for that disagreement. Instead, he would merely be reprimanded and greeted warmly by the faithful in Lubbock. Baylor, meanwhile, was fighting the Red Raiders. It's an 11-4 game here. Mikey Marshall ahead of the field. Looked as if the Red Raiders would blow it out early, but Baylor played tough. Carl Marshall, strong, and won. Tied at 34 at the half, but in the second half, Red Raiders able to take over.
Well, this team forces a lot of turnovers. They put good pressure on the ball. Mikey Marshall getting it ahead to Andre Emmett. 25 points on the game for Emmett. Emmett always the leading scorer, seemingly, for this team. But Ronald Ross does an outstanding job for Texas Tech. Don't think he gets near the credit he deserves for this stellar play that he has had over the past couple of months. A big reason for Texas Tech winning is Ronald Ross.
Both Emmett and Ross had fine evenings. 25 and 9 for Emmett, 22 and 6 rebounds for Ronald Ross, and Texas Tech gets the 20-point win, 83-63. Okay, the situation seems to be behind them. Bob Knight delivered a statement that said basically he wanted to get back to the business of coaching. The university chancellor said likewise wanted to put it behind them. Will this issue disappear just as simply as it seems?
I think it will disappear, and it should, because the right result was reached in this particular incident. Bob Knight was not proud of what happened in that restaurant with the chancellor. Both of them were at fault and were wrong for not having their disagreement in private rather than in public. But I think the right result was reached in that Bob Knight was not suspended. I thought that was floated too early, and it was not the right thing to do. We've had other high-profile incidents involving Phil Martelli of St. Joe's, Jim Calhoun, and also Kevin Willard at Louisville, but there was never any discussion about suspension in those matters. Maybe a little bit with Kevin Willard, but I didn't think suspension should have even been an issue. I'm glad the university president stepped in and cooler heads prevailed.
But clearly, both men had plenty of fault to go around. And Steve, in a situation like this, how responsible is a coach to back away, whether it's a university administrator, fan, reporter, whatever?
Well, I think in Coach Knight's situation, clearly a Hall of Fame coach with incredible credentials when you look at the graduation rate, staying within the NCAA rules, you know, running his program with great integrity. In terms of wins and championships, he's irreproachable. The only problem he's had over the years is the incidents, whether it's F-bombing a member of the media, whether it's incidents with players or administrators, both in Indiana University and now Texas Tech. So that pattern is probably the concern. That's the bigger picture, even though it looks like this incident reported today initially was overblown and really was kind of a minor incident, it looks to be. So hopefully not a distraction here from here on out. But you have to remember, when you're Bob Knight, there's a high-powered microscope. You're going to be dissected like a frog in a biology class, Jay.
But you got to give the players a lot of credit. Sure. There were a ton of distractions, but they kept strong and they kept focused on the task at hand. They played a good game, especially in the second half. They
played a tough game over the weekend against Oklahoma State as well, and Eddie Sutton's Cowboys going on the road tonight to take on Texas A&M. And the Pokes, who prevailed on Saturday, got a fine performance from John Lucas on this evening. He stroked home the 3, and then Tony Allen. You know, this team wins its 15th game, the 15-2. They're really sailing under the radar a little bit.
They're very good on the offensive end. They run motion, a few sets, some quick hitters. But when you've got a shooter like John Lucas, who was the top three-point shooter in the Big 12 at Baylor last year, you can really spread the defense. And Allen is an outstanding wing guard. Very strong, can take it to the basket. Oklahoma State really gets out and guards you as well.
And Oklahoma State's going to win its 16th game tonight, just a minute and 22 seconds away. Wait until you see the finish in the crosstown shootout between Cincinnati and Xavier.
This halftime report is presented by Bank One, where you get individual answers.
And cash or credit? Hey, Bank One.
I'm just really into whales.
I love fish sticks.
Find the card that fits you best.
Oh, she's so cute.
Bank One. Individual answers.
Why so grumpy, Mr. Frumpy?
That was the worst meeting this week.
No, we've had worse.
You forgot the presentation.
Yeah, but I brought the bag.
You couldn't answer any of their questions.
Sometimes it's what's not said that's important. Let me show you something. Now, see, I didn't say something. Did you feel that?
Why did we even come on this trip?
$149 a week for any compact car at Budget. For irresistible prices on irresistible cars, call 1-800-BUDGET-7 or visit budget.com.
Introducing Subway's new Atkins-friendly chicken bacon ranch wrap. With only 8 net carbs, it won't make up for downloading your thesis, but it will help make up for your recent high-carb hijinks. Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
From generation to generation, some things never change. At New York Life, it's our values. Financial strength, integrity, and humanity. Values rooted in our tradition as a mutual company, serving only the interests of our customers. Values that make New York Life the company you keep.
Pushing myself to the limit is what this is all about. And I need an antiperspirant that can keep up. That's why I use High Endurance Clear Gel. Try it. If you don't like it, Old Spice will buy you a stick of something else. A Clear Gel that strong? I'm there. Old Spice High Endurance Clear Gel.
Give your engine what it wants. Pennzoil with time release protection helps keep engines running stronger, longer. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
And cash or credit? Hey, Bank One. Bank One. Seriously, I've seen these all day. It's like a revolving door. Bank One, Bank One. I'm going to be sleeping. Bank One. Oh, Helen, another Bank One. You're right. I owe you lunch. Is that you?
Find the card that fits you best. Bank One. Individual answers.
Welcome back
Bob Huggins floated the idea maybe Cincinnati and Xavier shouldn't play home and home, sort of uncomplimentary of the behavior of some of the Xavier fans, but he and Thad Matta all smiled before the game, and Tony Bobbitt making Huggy Bear smile there. Stroking home the 3, he had 17. Lionel Chalmers for the Musketeers, who struggled this year, came into the game just one game over 500. Eric Hicks along the baseline. Bearcats with a 3-point lead. Under 3 to go. Here comes Chalmers. Stroking. 66 all. Under 30 seconds to go. This is a sweet shot, Jay.
Boy, how about the separation, the step-back move between the legs to knock down that shot? That's big time.
And Nick Williams, who had a costly turnover late against Charlotte in the loss Saturday, throws it away there. 71-69. Xavier beats Cincinnati again. And sometimes it just seems like a team has your number. 4 out of 5.
Thaddeus with the big win.
All of the wins have been close by Xavier, the lone blowout belonging to Cincinnati. All right, TCU and Marquette. Marquette, after that big win against Louisville, had a tough time with the Horned Frogs.
Boy, a great game plan by Neil Doherty, Marcus Shropshire, a Texas Tech transfer planned very well for TCU.
Let me tell you, Conference USA is a lot better than perhaps people have realized. DePaul and Tulane, that's a 14-point lead for the Blue Demons right now. And we know how tough it is to play down in the Leon County Civic Center. Florida State taking on Georgia Tech. Tim Pickett, C the 3, B the 3. This is an athletic team. Pickett gets the steal, and Anthony Richardson will finish.
Anthony Richardson, a McDonald's All-American. Tim Pickett leading the league in steals, and that is why great anticipation. But he is open when he's in the building.
He is open a lot of the time, and he makes the shots. He gave 33 to the Yellow Jackets, and the Seminoles roll at home again. 81-65. You're a ranked team. You go to Tallahassee, you're going to leave with a loss. Third straight time that's happened. 81-65. Florida State gets the win. In the Big Ten, earlier tonight on Super Tuesday, A.J. Moye for Indiana against Illinois. Hoosiers led for most of the game, but then Hoosiers just couldn't find the basket, gave Illinois a chance to come back. Roger Powell had one late in the second half. How about this shot from Nick Smith, Steve?
Big man that can step away from the bucket, old school Alvin Adams style.
13-3, Illini run. Indiana missed a couple of late shots.
Alvin Adams.
The Phoenix Suns with Westfall.
Went to Oklahoma. You go back to the early 70s on that one.
Cobb Fitzsimmons.
George Mikan.
Hank Rossetti.
Keep going, boys. Keep going. 51-49, a big win on the road for Weber's team as they go in Indiana. Final 9:33 without a bucket. We will continue. Rivalry Week presented by Cisco Systems on ESPN2. In the Big 12, Rick Barnes and the Longhorns welcome in Colorado at 8 Eastern time. And Louisville and Memphis at 10 Eastern. That ought to be a dandy. Eric Daniels had a strong first half for Tubby Smith. The Wildcats had a big lead. It's been trimmed to 4. Second half's coming.
This halftime report is presented by Bank One, where you get individual answers.
Great hops make great beer.
Here's a little taste of something different.
Introducing Chili's Shanghai Boneless Wings. Toasted sesame seeds, ginger citrus glaze, creamy wasabi ranch dressing, and no bones. Want more flavor?
I love Chili's.
Now on DVD and video.
Matt, where are you?
Dare to be scared. House of the Dead. Now available on DVD and video.
CIS College Bookstore. More than one location, more than just books.
Illini fans, TIS makes getting the stuff you need to show off your true colors easy. You'll find the largest selection of Illini stuff around, so you're sure to find something that scores big with you, or as a gift for your favorite Fighting Illini fan, big or small. We also have a special section of buy one, get one free t-shirts. Find us on campus and Marketplace Mall. TIS College Bookstore.
Now with every purchase from our exclusive Susan Lucci hair care line, you'll get a gorgeous full head of hair at no extra charge. The Susan Lucci collection, only on Home Shopping Network. Now when you order any pot from our exclusive Wolfgang Puck Bistro set, you'll get a full belly. Absolutely free. The Wolfgang Puck Bistro collection, only on Home Shopping Network.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by Jaguar Cars. Jaguar, born to perform. And Chili's. Want more flavor in your life? Come to Chili's.
Super Tuesday here in the SEC from the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida, where the Gators made a late run to get back within 4 of Kentucky. Rivalry week, of course, is presented by Cisco Systems. This is a great rivalry. And let's check out our game track presented by Cisco Systems. Dickie V, take it away.
Well, you know, Eric Daniels certainly effective inside. Gets that baseline layup. But he shut down the baseline at 11 points on the interior. Very effective. And then for Florida, Anthony Roberson with a downtown trifecta. Shot that from Sarasota, Florida. 11 gave him a little momentum now going in at halftime. That was a big, big trifecta.
Now look at our first half stats brought to you by Chili's. Kentucky shooting 50%. Florida came in as the hottest shooting team, best shooting team in the SEC this season, but they're down to 35%. Kentucky with a narrow rebounding advantage. Kentucky always seems to dominate, Dick, in the paint because of the way those big guys, Hayes and Daniels, pass the ball between each other.
They had a 5-to-1 ratio in the paint area there. Also, when we were in the locker room before the game, on the board, Billy Donovan said we must be +3 on the glass. They were -2.
Hawkins at the point, running the show for Kentucky as we begin the second half. This is a big game of the SEC. Kentucky's 4-2, Florida's 4-3. They're both trailing South Carolina in the East. The Gamecocks are 5-2.
And Dave Odom and his gang have a game with Kentucky at Kentucky this weekend.
Daniels with a miss, Lee with a rebound.
Mike's live in the house, the commissioner of the SEC. Did a great job at Conference USA.
Lee with an advantage in size over Hayes, spins by him and scores.
Well, that's the one time they didn't double up on him. He was isolated into a little one-on-one maneuver. I think he was shocked that nobody rotated over and came and gave him a double team.
5 for Lee. Roberson leading the Gators with 11. Daniels leading the Wildcats with 11. Nice look inside. There it is, Hayes to Daniels.
What a tandem and what passing ability. That took a special touch and special lead by Hayes to make that pass. Really great touch in getting the ball inside the Daniels.
And it's such enjoyable basketball to watch, how unselfish the big guys are.
It brought a big smile. To my right is Mike Pratt, who played at Kentucky doing a radio call.
Roberson feeling it, misses his first attempt of the second half. Hit that big, late, long three at the end of the first half.
Season before your time, Mr. Pratt played with Dan Issel and company 68, 69, and 70.
What a tradition. More wins than any other school in history. Again, great passing. This time Fitch to Daniels.
That's just unselfish basketball, making the one extra pass in the right place. That's no accident. That's by design where those guys are on the floor. Nice triangle to the high post to the offside.
Kentucky had a double-digit lead for a while in the first half. Florida got it down to 4 at the break. It's 6 right now.
Trying to run a back screen. Good communication by Kentucky.
Boy, Roberson won't get a more open look against Kentucky than that one.
He got the wide open look on the perimeter because they shut off the back screen for Walsh.
And a timeout here early in the second half. The Kentucky lead is still 4.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship begins March 20th.
Meanwhile, in Dad's office.
I'll be right back, honey.
defending the network from human nature. This is the power of the network, now.
You're purple.
Yeah,
So am I. And I'm air miles.
so am I.
Bank One presents Personal Platinum.
And I chose the low interest rate.
Me too.
And I'm middle of the month payment.
No, I'm beginning of the month. You're purple.
Yeah,
Bank One's Personal Platinum. Choose the one for you.
I like Pilates.
Oh, I love drinking those.
Individual answers. Bank One.
Hey, Randy, I need an ink cartridge.
We all have needs, Julie.
It's got sprinkles. Thanks.
Legal pads.
Banana nut.
I've got those muffins I owe you.
Have a paperclip.
Randy, can I have some file folders?
Half a Danish, half a folder.
Say, Randy, I went to Staples.
Staples, Randy.
It was easy, Randy.
Very easy.
People might like to know that.
What do you want from me?
Green puff.
You monster.
Store catalog online, Staples. That was easy.
Well, the Reptiles are out in full force, as they always are here at Gainesville, but Kentucky has been very efficient offensively, Dick Vitale. I mean, the passing, the execution's been a thing of beauty.
Well, they've been precise. They set those screens so firm. They really make it tough for you to get over the top of the screen. Their execution, I should think, freeze it right here. See the screen right here? Now he's going to run a curl move, and he's going to release and get the ball back. Watch this. Little screen. Now watch him release right here. No rotation over. He gets the easy layup. Just a simple lay of the screen, and they really work on precision in laying those screens.
Pitch with the feed to Daniels. Daniels, who's a really modest guy, says, you know what, I just hang around and get garbage baskets. Well, he gets enough of them to score 16 points already here tonight.
Hey, you know, you mentioned that win by Florida State over Georgia Tech, how real they are, beating the likes of North Carolina, Wake. I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I got a little guy that's sneaking around down at St. John's in the office down there, and they told me, a little bird told me, I was talking to someone, they said, guess who's #1 on their list, who they would love to have? Who do you think?
Mr. Hewitt?
Mr. Hewitt, and it would be an unbelievable choice. He's a great young coach.
Georgia Tech to St. John's. How do you decide?
That's not for me to decide. It'll make me the offer.
More great passing this time. It is Hawkins into Daniels.
Nice play, Hawkins to Daniels. I don't think they made an offer yet. I'm just saying that right now among conversation. He's the guy that they were really excited about, but he loves Georgia Tech. Told me he's so happy there. Now, you can want someone, but the bottom line is they may not want to get it.
That's right.
Paul is in a comfort zone, loves that place, doing a great job with that team despite the loss.
Yeah, off to an incredible start. They were off to an incredible start this season, but a big 16-point loss to Florida State. Shot clock down to 3. Walsh going to have to create, and he does.
Does a little job of creating a little one-on-one maneuver right there. Played out in high school in the Philadelphia area. Played with Lee Malchione. He's down here at Duke.
Good show there by Moss to slow Hawkins down. Let's watch the execution now for Kentucky. They've been so good here in the second half.
And they've had to be good because Florida's playing a lot better on the defensive end. They're really hustling a lot better.
Biggs trapped in the corner. 10 on the shot clock.
Walsh really working defensively.
As a Buki, and a foul is called on Roberson.
Walsh came over to him and said, man, you don't have to foul in that situation. The shot clock coming down.
Number 2 on Roberson. Nobody in foul trouble for either team. And now Billy Donovan going to his bench as we get another look.
They lay those mean screens. He had to fight 2 screens right there.
And Roberson gets a seat on the bench after that foul as Lee Humphrey, a freshman, comes in. A great three-point shooter. Missed 3 there by Hawkins, out of bounds, and a foul is called against Kentucky.
You know, you mentioned Humphrey, pretty good shooter from the perimeter. Was really a kid that's come on as of late to earn playing time. As you look at Humphrey right there, almost had a script. You couldn't write any better. He's from the Knoxville area in Tennessee. They didn't recruit him and offer him a scholarship, and he took the last shot down two, hit the rim, and didn't go down. And what a story that would have been in front of all his family and friends.
But he has earned more playing time. It's been a pleasant surprise, says Billy Donovan. Dryer to miss. Another offensive rebound for Florida. Here's Humphrey.
He can do that. He can do that. Oh, and I wish the one would have went down in Knoxville. He's earned his playing time. He went and played like with a bunch of guys in a rec center because he wasn't getting playing time to keep himself sharp. But he never stopped believing, chasing a dream. Follow those dreams, man. Believe, believe, believe.
The Reptiles believe right now. Their team back within one, and they got the ball.
Oh, this house is rocking, baby. What a great environment here in Gainesville.
No double team on Lee. Goes right around Daniels.
Can't play him one-on-one. Can't play him one-on-one. The double team was effective. Can't play him on the inside. You're going to love this damn showman. You don't get this feeling in baseball. This is incredible. College basketball. Right where we need. Oh, look at the hustle.
What a save by Walsh. No reset of the shot clock. Now John Clougherty says yes, he does want the shot clock reset. Billy Donovan doesn't like the call at all.
John Clougherty takes charge when he makes calls. Whether he's right or wrong, what I love about him, he takes charge. He's in control, just like you're in control.
The Gators in control right now. The Florida comeback, keyed by the three by the freshman Humphrey. That was...
Tonight on SportsCenter, Texas Tech's coaching two-step. Dan Marino steps down in Miami. Rookie phenom, all-star snubs, plus a classic rematch in NYC. It's SportsCenter after the game on ESPN.
The Pro Bowl is on ESPN as the NFL's island tradition continues for its 25th year. The great game and its greatest players live from Hawaii. Sunday at 7:30 on ESPN.
And cash or credit? Hey, Bank One. Bank One. Seriously, I've seen these all day. It's like a revolving door. Bank One, Bank One. I'm going to be sleeping. Bank One. Oh, Helen, another Bank One. You're right. I owe you lunch. Is that you?
Find the card that fits you best. Bank One. Individual answers.
The crying, it's a good thing?
It's a very good thing.
A Valentine's Day gift from Kay means two things. Every diamond is hand-selected, and she'll absolutely love it.
You're still crying.
I'm still happy.
Every kiss begins with K.
Now part of the pregame festivities here. Yet another marriage proposal for the shy reserve Dick Vitale. I hope Lorraine is not watching this game back at home.
She's already sleeping. She's not watching the game. My son-in-laws are in the house, though. Thomas Krug and Chris Forzo, doctor, orthopedic surgeon here in Gainesville, and a fellowship. Trained under a great guy. I introduced you to Dr. Indelicato, who's the team orthopedic surgeon for the University of Florida.
And the guys are sitting over on the other side in the midst of the refined Rowdy Reptiles, the non-students, some older people wearing the shirts. The Reptiles, the students are right behind us, and they're going nuts right now with Florida on top. And Daniels draws the foul. Tom Lopes with a call.
Tell you, One thing, you watch a kid like Humphrey, he gives him such a lift. He comes out with a lot of energy, and it doesn't hurt when he knocks down a three. I just love the enthusiasm and the energy of environments like this. See, I didn't feel that last night at Hartford. I told you, I thought that was an NBA environment. I told you, if I were coaching there, see Jim Calhoun, I would simply say, play your games on Campbell Pavilion, baby.
Even though one holds, I mean, the bottom line talks, right? I mean, one holds 7,000, one holds 16,000.
Well, you want to pay Jim the big bucks, you better play at Hartford.
Hayes will have a seat.
He's earned those dollars and deserves them.
Orbshoot back in for Kentucky. Daniels misses them both. Boy, Florida playing with an extra spring in their step right now. They look like they've taken it to another level here in the last few minutes.
And they look a lot more focused than we've seen them in the past. We've seen them in some lapses. They have come out with a commitment here, and they have to. And that's what Kentucky brings out in you.
Now Hawkins is called for the foul. He didn't like that one at all. Number 2 on Hawkins, a very aggressive defender.
You know, I think when you look at Tubby Smith, you think about Kentucky. What's always amazed me is the love their fans have for this team. They travel with them. They follow them all over. They really have such an unbelievable appetite for Kentucky basketball. Sometimes it can become absolutely ridiculous because they don't expect them to lose.
Lee with a very strong move, and now Orbshoot is called with the foul.
Lee really attacking the basket, getting a lot of isolations one-on-one.
14:34 to go in the second half. This is a part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco Systems, the O'Connell Center, the O-Dome, here in Gainesville, Florida. Along with Dick Vitale, I'm Dan Schulman. This is Kentucky and Florida. It was a double-digit lead for the Wildcats midway through the first half, a 4-point lead in the break, but an inspired performance so far in the second half by the Gators. A big 3 by the freshman Lee Humphrey, and Florida's got the lead.
Dan, you said double-digit lead, and we talked about it earlier. There's only been 2 times this year where they haven't had a double-digit lead, and that was against North Carolina, where they led by as many as 8, and against Georgia. Georgia was an absolutely shocking loss because it happened at home, and I don't think anybody believed it. Hey, tonight, the last 9 minutes of the Indiana-Illinois game, Pat Forty, who does a great column in Louisville, told me they didn't score Indiana at home. A field goal in the last 9 minutes.
2-point lead, Gators. Lee goes out. Chris Richard back in. Reptiles roaring again.
You know, you love seeing a kid like Lee and Walsh standing up cheering. Those guys are stars, and yet they're making like cheerleaders on the bench right now.
Major game, especially for Florida. They're 4-3 in the SEC. Kentucky's 4-2.
Also major because it's at home.
Yep.
You got to protect your home turf.
Both teams coming off losses on the road on Saturday. Hayes dumps it down, and we've got a foul before the shot.
Can't double up on Hayes. I would play him one-on-one, head-to-head. As soon as you double up, he's as good as an interior passer as you're going to find. Now watch the double up come at him. Watch the double up. Here comes the double team. Right, freeze it. See that double up? As soon as he gets double, he's fighting the open man. He really anticipates and reacts exceptionally well to the double team.
The foul on Christian Dreyer, his second. Folks who watch Kentucky tell us when the Wildcats have struggled, it's been because other teams have contained not the guards, but Daniels and Hayes on the interior.
And that's what happened in the game with Louisville, in fact.
Brandon Stockton into the point again as Tubby Smith tries to wring as many minutes as he can out of that bench.
Florida now zoning up on top, popped out by Humphrey.
Daniels trapped in the corner, gets out of it. Fitch for 3.
He's challenged on that shot.
Florida ball.
I tell you, there's so much intensity and energy in this place right now. You would feel like an NCAA title was at stake. I tell you, I get a kick out of people saying, you know, well, the regular season isn't meaningful. How nonsense that is. Come with us in the different arena.
That's right. Feel the atmosphere in the building. And this one's going against Florida. Matt Walsh is called for the foul. Number 2 on Walsh trying to break free from Barton. I agree with you. You've got a schedule only 30 to 35 games. You've got thousands of college students making every game feel like it's the biggest game of the season.
Dave Gavitt said it the best. We talked about Dave earlier. He said college is about the name of the jersey on the front. The NBA is about the name of the jersey in the back.
Roberson.
Oh, yes, they love that. Tell him it's not important. Right now, going to the goal. Very strong from out of Saginaw, Michigan. Anthony Roberson gets the Rowdy Reptiles out of there. Off their feet, baby. Listen to this place. Oh, my. Listen to this place. Tough defense right here. Going to get the deflection from the back. And then he's going to finish it in transition. Off he goes, baby, to the rack. Stolen by Walsh. Give it up. Give it up. You should have given it up.
3 cracks at it. Florida can't convert, but now we've got a foul. And Antoine Barber a little bit shaken up for Kentucky.
Not a good play by Walsh right there. You got to give that ball up. Right now we see the deflection. See right now, go a little wider. Roberson, give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
What are you trying to say?
Well, let me just say this. What you want to do, if you've seen that sequence, you want to get in a 2-on-1 a little wider than the lane. You want to get wider than the lane to make one guy have a difficult time playing both.
Chris Richard at the line for Florida. A freshman out of Lakeland, not all that far from here, knocks it down, and this is now an 11-0 run for the Florida Gators.
Well, last night we saw Rashad Anderson use from Lakeland as well. Home of the Tigers, Pudge Rodriguez going down there.
Can you believe it?
40 Bill, I'm going to pull him up for a little low.
How about Humphrey with the offensive rebound?
I'll tell you, that gives you a lift. When you see a kid like that hustle his way to get some PT right here. This kid busted his gut to get some playing time.
Roberson almost got his second incredible bounce. How about another offensive rebound by the Gators? A weakness for them is rebounding, but not here in the second half.
No, they're rebounding a lot better tonight. Even though they were down 2 on the rebounding totals at halftime, they got absolutely destroyed on the glass against Tennessee.
They've had 4 offensive rebounds, either taps or grabs on this possession. Ball's been down at this end of the floor for about a minute.
Buzz Peterson's club had 18 offensive rebounds against Florida when they beat them by a deuce the other day in Knoxville.
Shot clock running down, and Florida will retain possession with 3 on the shot clock. Take a look at Humphrey.
A lot of hustle. There's no way that little guy should get in here to get that ball. No way in the world. You got to block out. Very simple assignment on the lane. A breakdown, lack of concentration. Tubby can't be happy with that.
So Florida with 3 seconds to shoot.
You know, when you're at home like this, you don't want to hear at the end of the game, lose a heartbreaker, and everybody says, well, great effort, man. You were right close.
Right.
There's no more of a victory when you're at home. You got to lock up those home W's.
Kentucky with a win at Mississippi State. The only loss that Mississippi State has had this year. Walsh for 3. Big as that.
Things are going their way, baby. Things are going their way. Listen to this place. I cannot believe it there. How this kid has been such a spark. Look at that hustle.
Kentucky, though, comes up with a loose ball despite the hustle, and Barber's slam snaps a 14-0 run, but Billy Donovan still applauding.
He's applauding the effort of Humphrey and his kids. Scraping knees, diving for the loose ball.
Foul on Barber.
Barber's holding Walsh. Walsh is getting the crowd even more so into it.
Great effort, great hustle by the Florida Gators here in the second half. And a little outside shooting doesn't hurt. Matt Walsh and the Gators are up by 6.
Wow, this is incredible.
Meanwhile, on the 4th floor.
When?
20 minutes ago.
An internet worm.
And a sneaky one, too. Came from the inside.
But the guys from IT said we're safe.
It was caught by the network automatically. They say we're fine.
How does something like that get in here?
Hey, Daddy, I downloaded a new game on your computer. It's really cool.
Protecting networks and everyone around them. This is the power of the network. Now.
Love, 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 love.
Pity
love,
the
love,
human male.
Sex, 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 sex.
Love.
Sex.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love. Sex.
But every once in a magical while,
Rolling Rock. Love one.
there's something they can both understand. And the chain of life marches gloriously on.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock. You think about what people want in a sports sedan. A coupe-like design. A sport-tuned suspension. But you also think about what people need in a sports sedan. Like available all-wheel drive. You think about that, then you build the Volvo S60.
See the full line of Volvos today at Sullivan Park Hill in Champaign.
Performance when you want it. A Volvo when you need it.
Look, in the sky, a giant bird.
It's a flying saucer! It's Captain Happy!
No matter how big or ravenous the hunger, Happy's incredible menu of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items has the power to satisfy his Happy, it's super good!
Bedlam here in Gainesville, Florida, with a great second half. They've turned a 4-point deficit into a 6-point lead. Dick, we've seen Florida a lot. I don't know that we've ever seen them play as hard as they're playing right now in the second half. Even though Kentucky got a dunk out of this, Billy Donovan, as you pointed out, applauding the effort of his kids. And when a team this talented plays with as much intensity as Florida's playing with right now, special things can happen.
Well, they're playing with so much emotion. They're feeling that emotion, the adrenaline from the crowd as well. I've been observing to my right, about 2 feet away from me, Mr. Leach and Mr. Pratt doing a great job on Kentucky radio here right next to me. It's amazing. Everybody's up and going bananas here. It's such an effort by both these clubs, playing so hard.
Major game, what a great week this is. Rivalry week presented by Cisco Systems. Some of the best matchups you'll see all season long.
I tell you, I'm amazed the way the kid Humphrey is on playing time and just working so hard.
Double team on Lee. They force him into a line drive. Jump hook. And Kentucky comes back in a hurt.
Look at the defense Humphrey played right there on Hawkins. Unbelievable. Here's the kid was a non-factor. We had him earlier in the year. He didn't get off the bench. I didn't know who he was. Who's Humphrey? Where did they find him? Only Humphrey I know is playing out there in Minnesota. I mean, look at him hustling right here on the ball. Look at him right there on the ball. Keeping the ball in front of him, making sure he stays between the offensive player and the basket.
The foul on Chris Richard, his second. Helena Azubuike at the line for 2 for the Cats.
Kentucky's not going away. You can trust me there.
Here comes a big ovation coming for Humphrey as he goes out. Roberson coming back in.
They got so much pride wearing that Kentucky uniform. You think about all the greats that have worn it tonight in the house. Kenny Skywalker had that great year under Eddie Sutton. The only thing that they ran into was Dale Brown pulled a miracle when Dale Brown's club bounced them out to go to the Final Four.
More wins than any college basketball program in NCAA history. 7 national championships, 13 Final Fours, and they are part of college basketball's royalty.
And then you had that injury to Derek Anderson, but it might have gotten another one in '97.
That's right. Roberson, what a spin move!
He's terrific with the basketball. He is terrific with the ball in his hand. I've said so many times, he just has to learn how to play without it, and that'll come. He's a young player. But with the rock in his hands, he makes music.
Roberson now with 17.
He's playing a lot better on the defense and taking some pride on that as well.
Azubuike double teamed in the post, kicks it out. And we're going to call against the Cats.
Look at Roberson, a little one-on-one against an outstanding defensive player. He beats him with a little spin move to the lane on Hawkins. Hawkins, one of the tough defensive perimeter players in the SEC.
Dick, that was a 3-second call on Kentucky, turning it back over to Florida. Here's Dreyer.
They need his jump shot. Oh, how big that is for his confidence as well. He has passed the ball exceptionally well throughout the season, but has not been able to make the shot from the perimeter.
His first points of the night and the largest lead of the night for Florida.
And created by a good effort defensively.
Nice cut here by Daniels. He's got 19.
I love the way he moves without the ball. One of the things we talk about so often, to have an efficient offense, you must have players move without the ball, and they must move the ball.
Kentucky with their 5 starters in the game almost all the time. Will they be able to find the energy to mount a comeback?
They've been doing it all year.
Dreyer again.
Oh! If he finds that Joe down there, his parents are in the stands. think that brother smiled? Made that trip worth it to mom and dad?
This.
He fouled him. He fouled him. No doubt about it. Dreyer's draining the nets, baby. Here he is, stepping out. Out of Denmark. He shot that one from Denmark. There he is the second time. He said, I'm feeling it. I got the rhythm now. He's got great size. Had the unfortunate injury last year.
Ankle problem. Yeah, it turned out to be much worse than they thought. Foul on Walsh as Fitch misses a free throw. And look at the frustration for him. This has been more than a 20-point turnaround in this game. Kentucky was up big in the first half. And even with that free throw, they're still down 9.
It's been a study of Kentucky all year long. And they've had one heck of a year. You sit at 14-3 playing the schedule A play. They don't play cupcakes, my friend.
Yes, sir.
And they take everybody's best shot.
Now they got to get out on Dreyer after those 2 threes, so he's going to drive it. And a block. And a foul is good for Moss.
Moss comes over, nobody blocks out. The drive by Dreyer got people to come and give help and allowed him to get the lane to the basket. I love this environment, man. I just love it. I can stay here all night.
Pitch with a fadeaway. Tough shot. As Ibuki is held underneath by Roberson.
Why don't we stay here all night till about 5 o'clock Thursday and then fly to Chapel Hill? We'll stay here all day and play. Here goes Dreyer to the goal. See, now watch how he has the lane right in here. He's got the lane right in there and goes up for the offensive rebound. Finds that opening, that seam, because the help that rotated over.
Humphrey's going to come back in for Florida. You're talking about an environment, Dick, a program that was not really a regular on the college basketball map. I mean, they weren't a big-time player.
Until Mr. Donovan
That's right. Billy Donovan's had more NCAA wins in 7 years here than the entire previous history of the Florida basketball program.
I don't want them to hear me out there, but you know what? He's earning his dollars. And old Jeremy Foley's paying him well. In fact, more than the football coach.
Oh, really?
Don't tell anybody that. More than the football coach. Maybe I'll go see Billy for a loan.
They fill this place each and every night. And then the Florida Gators, of course, with a trip to the national championship game when they lost to Michigan State back a few years ago. 5 straight trips to the NCAA tournament, and it shows no sign of letting up anytime soon.
Saw the top wall filled up there. Al McGuire used to say it best. When he walked in the arena, he looked at the top row. If the top row was filled, he knew he did his job.
Well, we're going to see some banners in a couple of nights up in Chapel Hill. I know that.
Whoa.
Nobody does banners like the Tar Heels.
They got banners. They got All-Americans, Player of the Years. Just great tradition. 8 miles apart. Duke's got its share of tradition, obviously, as well. 2 great coaches, a Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer, going head-to-head for the first time in the rivalry of Duke and Carolina. They certainly have met during the battles of Duke and Kansas.
9 o'clock Eastern, Thursday night on ESPN2, right after Connecticut and Tennessee on the women's side. Number 3 against number 1 at 7 Eastern on ESPN2.
I think there's no doubt in my mind this conference is going to get 6. I mean, the level of play here versus what we witnessed, let's say, when we were at the Big Ten, not even comparable. Not even comparable.
Every team dangerous. We talked about it. Georgia dangerous. Arkansas dangerous. South Carolina having a great year.
Alabama at home. Oh, what a great inside out. That was a great play and pass by Lee. They don't get the conversion, but it's the right opportunity.
You talked about a big game this weekend. South Carolina at Kentucky. That's a real tough test for Dave Odom's team to see how good they are.
I'll tell you one thing, Davey Odom has proven as clubs been able to win on the road. Everybody thought early, Cupcake City, but they've been able to win on the road. What about St. Joseph? Phil Martelli just rolling on.
Had a big win last night over Villanova to remain unbeaten.
Let me tell you, they can play with the big guys. I don't want to hear any doubt about who they play. Look at Xavier, mediocre right now in their conference. The Atlantic 10, they beat Cincinnati.
Foul on Humphrey, his second. Hawkins misses the front end, and 3 Gators wrap up the rebound. They are working this half.
They are playing with passion. A lot of good things happen whenever you do anything with passion and feeling.
Here's Humphreys giving him a big spark with a 3 and an offensive rebound.
Hawkins not going to let him get a look for a 3.
He was hoping for a second down in the paint.
They would like to spot him up for a 3, but Hawkins flies right out on him.
Fitch with a push in the back of Walsh. Number 2 on Gerald Fitch. And we will step aside. Florida, big comeback and a 9-point lead here in the second half.
Folks, this is Captain Williams. Normally, we'd be looking at the I-35 corridor on the left side of the aircraft right about now, but we just got word that a blackout knocked out all the power in the area.
Hey, Dad.
We'll try and keep you updated on the situation.
What's that light down there?
I'm not sure.
Why have backups for the backups? Because your money deserves every advantage.
What do you do when he wants meat lovers, she wants a Supreme, and you want your favorite? Well, Pizza Hut's got the answer. The incredible new 4-for-All. 4 individual pizzas filling one box from corner to corner for just $11.99. All on a not too thick, not too thin crust. The one and only 4-for-All. Just $11.99 only at Pizza Hut. The only way to make everyone happy is to gather around the good stuff.
A year ago, over 10,000 hopefuls gathered with a dream of becoming an anchor on ESPN SportsCenter.
For a dream job, baby!
Welcome to the big show. First quarter action.
Went 3 for 3. Locked up in a tight one.
16 points in the first half. Back to you guys.
Now, only 12 remain, with a chance to claim the best seat in the world of sports as their own.
A little bit of a ram-a-lam-a-ham-dam.
ESPN's Dream Job. Watch one fan's dream become a reality. Series premiere Sunday, February 22nd, 10 p.m. on ESPN.
Hey guys, how was the game?
It's over.
Was it any good?
Well, the commercials were good, especially that Bud commercial with the donkey. I like the Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, the one with Jimi Hendrix and the axe.
Doing axe. Let the axe go. Hey, let's just go ahead and replay that World Series game.
Okay, you want game 3 or game 6?
6.
Oh, home run!
He didn't even look. That ball was right.
I'll live for this.
Get ready. Major League Baseball's opening day is coming.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of Rivalry Week is presented by Cisco Systems. This is the power of the network. Now, and in part by Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock.
Time now for Shooting the Rock, presented by Rolling Rock. David Lee and company were held to 9 points in the first 11 minutes of the game. Struggled the whole first half. 61% in the second half. And Florida's got a 9-point lead. 7:47 to go as they try to defeat Kentucky.
They've done a better job of moving the basketball and getting the ball in the right place for the right guys. Lee one-on-one inside early in his half was so effective, and Dreyer knocking down those 2 threes. Billy's got to be really pleased with the unbelievable effort they're making on the defensive side as well.
Kentucky has scored only 15 points here in the second half.
Kentucky's ready for this. 13 straight years winning more than 20 games.
Humphrey wide open.
He can shoot it. That's why he's on the floor. Give him some hustle and energy defensively and shoot the 3.
Barrier in the game for Kentucky. This is him with the ball. He can shoot it as well.
I love the way. Look at the stance defensively. Look at the stance defensively. I mean, square, face to face, balance, balls of his feet.
Double team on Daniels. Open man Barber. Not there. Rebound Moss.
He made 4 out of 5 against Mississippi. 1 for 13. The rest of the year, Mr. Barber, high school superstar in Kentucky. Trying to spread the court right now.
Dreyer operating as the point guard with Roberson on the bench.
You can invert Dreyer because of his size. Some back screen they ran.
Here comes Dreyer again. Now Walsh looking to get 3 on the baseline. Here he is in the corner. Pump drive, and hangs and it goes.
Nice medium range shot. He's a scorer. He's not what you would call an automatic long-range shooter. He's a little streaky from the perimeter. Very capable, but he has scoring ability.
14 now for Walsh, right at his average. Hayes feeling for the contact, draws the double team. Great cut by Barber.
I tell you, Antoine Barber without the ball from the backside, but again, who created the opportunity? Mr. Hayes.
Hayes and Daniels, so tough, passing out of that double team. Kentucky back within 9. We near the 6-minute mark here in the second half.
Daniels has been really hot the last 3 games, 19 to 31.
He's got 19 points here tonight to lead Kentucky. Now Barber called for the touch foul, number 3 on him.
Walsh really now trying to come off the screen. Didn't run his man close enough to the screen. Now he gets another screen in the corner, and now he puts it to the deck. A little isolation, a little one-on-one. He's going to beat him in a one-on-one maneuver, medium-range jumper. And Roberson said, look at him cheering. He says, yeah, that's my man. That's my man.
Walsh working hard for that bucket. Christian Dreyer, all of his points coming on those back-to-back threes within about 30 seconds earlier in the second half.
Tubby Smith has coached now 10 straight NCAA tournaments. And what a list of active guys with 10 or more trips. Olsen with 19, Roy Williams 14, Bob Huggins with 12, and then Tubby and Gary Williams and Kelvin Sampson with 10.
Tubby, a lot of success at Tulsa and Georgia before coming to Kentucky. Good tough D on the perimeter by Polis, but now he is called for the foul. Boy, Hayes is tough. If he wants to take a big guy out on the perimeter, he's got the ability pretty much to go by it. For Kolistic, that's number 4.
And he's so strong physically. Hey, we're seeing some environments. I can't wait for Stillwater. They won again tonight, Oklahoma State.
Big game for John Lucas as Oklahoma State wins on the road at Texas A&M.
They've been outstanding. They really are under the radar, but Eddie Sutton, who coached at Kentucky, has done a magnificent job there at the helm of Oklahoma State.
Chuck Hayes with a quiet night offensively. That's just his 4th point.
But he's done a great job passing the ball. His presence has made Daniels that much more effective.
Some nights it's Hayes making Daniels better. Some nights it's Daniels making Hayes better.
See, with the ball in his hands right now, he's very effective. He's have a tough time taking it away from this kid. He's played by a really harassing defensive player.
Hawkins averaging about 2.5 steals per game, second in the SEC. Lee, nice dump down, Polis, and a block from behind by Asabuki, still Florida ball.
Asabuki did a great job rotating back because it looked like it was going to be an easy basket for Polis. Now look at this, Lee aware of the double up now, and there he is with the little hook pass. That pass, you don't see it too often.
Plenty of time in the shot clock for the Gators. Tough inbounds play. Walsh wanted a foul, being harassed by Hawkins.
That was a bad pass. Bad play there.
Tubby Smith wanted to travel on Walsh.
Walsh made a great play to receive that. Good strip. Good strip.
It won't go down, but a foul by Walsh. Hawkins will go to the line. That's a great sequence for Cliff Hawkins. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow night, it's NBA Wednesday on ESPN. LeBron and the Cavs hosting Shaq and the Lakers at 8 Eastern tomorrow night. NBA Wednesday right here on ESPN.
Yeah, LeBron James, my friends, is special. But shame on you, Shaq, being interviewed by Jim Gray, using that profanity. No way in the world. Man, that was absolutely second rate. He's too good a player and too good a guy to do that.
I read where he lost with the 1-game suspension. He lost $295,000 for that.
That's penny ante to him. Are you kidding me? That's in your league. It means nothing.
Yeah.
Means nothing. The commissioner was kind to him.
But you're right. He's got to consider who's out there watching.
Oh, the little kids who idolize and think the world, and he's got a heart of gold. I think you know Shaq. He's a beautiful guy.
Hey, Kentucky back within 5 minutes to go here in what's been a great game in Gainesville, Florida. Rivalry week presented by Cisco Systems and Super Tuesday here tonight in the SEC. Roberson. Rebound Hawkins. And Hawkins is fouled by Polis, and he's gone.
Well, that was a silly foul by Polis. There's no doubt about it. Kerry's sitting with the call, the official, right there to see it. You know what he does for a living? Tyler, Texas. He's a rancher. He has yearlings. He raises yearlings. Yep.
You do your research.
He's a rancher, man. Oh, there's the bump.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt. You can't get away with that. Now, 4 fouls. How do you do that? Look at the reaction. Who, me? I did that. No way.
So Polis fouls out with 2 points on the night. And it looks like Adrian Moss, who started in the middle for Florida, will be the guy to take his place. And look at the intensity on Billy Donovan.
Oh, yes. Look at that little, I tell you, he learned that from his man, from the mentor, Mr. Patino, who he played for and then coached under. He knows these next 5 minutes are going to be big here at winning time right now.
Major game for both teams. Don't forget, they close out the regular season against one another up at Rupp Arena. South Carolina leading the SEC East at 5-2. Kentucky is 4-2, and Florida's 4-3. Both the Gators and the Cats trying to bounce back from losses on Saturday.
Reggie Hansen, Dave Hobbs on the left, Tubby in the middle. Misses both.
Hawkins. Rebound by Fitch and a block by Dreyer. Florida ball.
You're on the road. You're down 5. Your point guard's got to convert.
Azubuike called for the foul.
Can't come up empty there.
That's the 7th foul, Dick, or the 8th foul on Kentucky, so they're already into the bonus.
See, I think the game is much more important to Florida. Obviously, it's important to Kentucky and Tubby Smith. You couldn't tell him that it isn't. But when you look at the importance of playing on your home floor, I mean, you got a date down a rough. You can't afford to lose to them here.
Dreyer knocks it down. Florida's had a bit of a struggle from the line here tonight. 10 for 17. But Dreyer with the big one here. If you're looking for SportsCenter, coming up next here on ESPN, the latest on Bob Knight. Dan Marino changes his mind, and NBA All-Star snubs. A pretty long list in the mind of some as Dreyer knocks them both down, and the Florida lead is back up to 7.
Dryer's really played well here in the second half. Made those big threes, 2 in a row. Gave this crowd a big lift.
All 8 of his points here in the second half, Dick.
Daniels, you want him to touch it. Good things happen when he does.
Tried to find Hayes. Out of bounds to the Gators.
He got a little too unselfish there. He was like 3 feet from the goal. And he's been on fire lately. He should have shot that ball. Tubby wanted him to shoot that inside.
Matt Walsh back into the game for Florida. Lee Humphrey sits down.
They got the minutes they wanted out of Humphrey. He made a big 3, gave him a lot of energy defensively, gave a little spark for the crowd.
Billy Donovan might be playing a little offense-defense here, bringing in Walsh to the offensive end.
Over to a 1-4 along that baseline. Try to get isolation, get 17 feet apart, eliminate any kind of help.
Dreyer. Roberson thought about it. Double team on Lee.
They've been effective when they've doubled him up.
Pitch all the way. The bump by Dreyer. Again down the stretch. Kentucky's had a habit, Dick, even though they've been tired, of pulling out these close games. A very experienced team. Florida much younger. How do they respond here?
Well, you got experience against youth, obviously, and that's certainly a big plus. Tubby Smith has said many a time, I will take experience.
Gerald Fitch, certainly one of the experienced players. He's a senior. Daniels is a senior. Hawkins is a senior.
He's going to have some young talent next year, though, with Joe Crawford, Rando, certainly Bradley, and Patrick Sparks. They're going to have some talent.
Honey, stop. I have a surprise. Close your eyes.
Oh, no.
Come on, this is a good surprise. I promise it's not like the last one.
All right.
Don't peek. Wait. And open. Yep. Am I forgiven or am I forgiven?
Oh, baby! How can we afford this?
$26 a weekend day for any mid-size car at Budget. For irresistible prices on irresistible cars, call 1-800-BUDGET-7 or visit budget.com.
The passage is intense, but if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Introducing Subway's new Atkins-friendly